But I love this conversation between Jesus and this woman, because something amazing about the way Jesus teaches is that he uses a natural situation to make her aware of a spiritual need. He's having a conversation with her about water, but how many know it's not really about water? He's having a conversation with her about this well, but it's not really about that well. He's trying to make her aware, and he's saying, hey woman, you know how you've come out here to this well to take a drink, to answer a natural need that you have. Just the same way your thirst has drawn you out here, but it doesn't quench your thirst for very long, and you have to keep coming back. And then he takes it a step deeper and he says, and you know how you've had 5 husbands? Because you keep looking to these natural things to answer a spiritual need. In other words, what he's saying is perhaps what you're really after, perhaps what you're really thirsty and hungry for, perhaps what you're really in need of, it's not something that a natural thing can answer. What you're really in need of is an encounter with me.
Yes.
Perhaps Jesus today in this last session of Planetshakers conference is saying to some of us here in this place, it's about time you stop looking to those natural things to answer that spiritual need in your life. It's about time you stop looking to the opinions of others to get your self-worth. It's about time you stop looking for all of the natural opportunities of how can I be seen and be heard and be known and what's in it for me. Jesus is saying that's like that natural well. You're going to have to keep coming back to it all the time, and it's never really going to quench your thirst. What you tonight are really in need of, and what this whole conference has been about, is a real, living, life-changing encounter with Jesus. When you encounter Him, out of your innermost being will flow rivers of living water. The Holy Spirit alive in your life. I believe tonight what the Holy Spirit is wanting to do, what He's been doing all day, but I really feel like He's wanting to take it to another level tonight, is to awaken in us a hunger and a thirst for Jesus like never before. Oh, come on, somebody. I don't know how long you've known Jesus, but I've been walking with Him for years, and I'm not turning down my hunger, my thirst for Him. I believe tonight the Holy Spirit's wanting to awaken that in us, and maybe in Manila, maybe in the Philippines, in a very new way. Have you ever been super duper hungry? Give me a wave if you've been hungry before. Like, I mean, you don't know. This side doesn't understand. Have you been hungry before? Who's hungry right now? Yeah, me too. Let's get some food afterwards, yeah? But I'm talking about the kind of hunger where it feels like your stomach is eating itself. Do you know what I mean? When I used to come home from school as a teenager, I felt like I would barely make it through the front door. I was so hungry. I felt like my stomach was eating my liver, and my liver was eating my spleen, and everything inside of me was munching on everything inside of me. I was so hungry. I like to play a game. I've fasted for long periods of time in my life before. I'm so spiritual. But I fasted for long periods of time to seek God. And the first few days of fasting, I get so hungry. Who gets a little bit angry when they're hungry? Oh, I'm preaching to the choir over here. You get a little bit impatient. And you're just like, I'm hungry. I'm trying to pray. I'm trying to read the word. I'm hungry. I like to play a game when I'm super hungry. I like to think to myself, if I could eat anything in the world, what would I eat? And then I just imagine it, and I feel like I can smell it and taste it. Okay, let me ask you, if you could eat anything in the world right now, what would you eat?
Jollibee.
Wait, let me help you. Are you thinking of something right now? You can think of it. Just in case, make some noise if you would eat right now, if you would eat this.
Galing nyo ah.
Who would eat that right now? I would take some. Okay, wait. What about this? What about this? What is that, Liz? What is that? Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all, but fantastic. Okay, now this one, I don't know, man, this weirds me out. If you were super hungry and you could eat anything, who here would eat this? I don't know, man. I've never tried that, no. I don't mean any disrespect, but no. What about this? Or this? Oh, what about this?
Buti na lang busog tayo.
Are you hungry now? Exactly. Some of you are like, all right, hurry up and preach, man. We're going to be done.
Yari talaga to si Pastor.
Here's the problem with being hungry, as I've just demonstrated right now. Once you're hungry, I've noticed this about being hungry or thirsty. Hunger has a way of getting your attention, doesn't it? It has a way of getting your attention, and once it's got your attention, it's very hard to think about anything else. Your mum might be yelling at you, but instead of sounding like, it sounds like this. I know this. Have you ever been in school trying to solve a math problem, but you're hungry? It's like, Andy, what's 2 plus 2? And a hamburger? It's so hard to think about anything else once you're hungry. Why? Because hunger distracts you from everything else. The things that once had your attention, they don't get your attention once you're hungry. The voices that would have distracted you, they don't have the opportunity to distract you anymore once you're hungry. Why? Because there's a louder voice on the inside of you than the voices on the outside of you. I think the Holy Spirit wants to awaken some hunger in this place tonight so that you would be distracted for Jesus. So when the voice of the enemy comes at you and tries to discourage you and tries to tempt you and tries to distract you, you're not distracted by the voice on the outside because there's a louder voice on the inside of you.
Amen.
So I can't even hear you. I'm too hungry for Jesus. If you're hungry for Jesus in this place, make some noise. Go ahead and drown out the enemy with a sound of praise right now. Come on, when he's trying to distract you, when he's trying to tell you, that encounter with Jesus wasn't real, you're going to drown him out with the sound of your hunger. Hunger distracts you. Here's another thing about hunger that I've noticed. Hunger wakes you up. Now, this is very real to me right now because on a personal note, Pastor Russell mentioned it, but yesterday, 3 weeks ago, my wife gave birth to our very first child. Her name is Joy. This is a picture of her somewhere. I believe is it there? Is she there? Yeah. I miss her so much. She's so cute. When she's quiet. Babies make so much noise. I love her, honestly I do, but wow! They make a lot of noise. Nobody warned me about this. You thought I came to the Philippines because I came here to get some sleep. I miss my baby very much, Joy, or LJ for short, but anyways, here's the thing I've noticed, it's crazy, because one moment she can be fast asleep, a little angel baby, and the next moment, What just happened? What happened to my sweet little quiet baby? I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what triggered it. But her hunger woke her up. Something on the inside of her told her tiny little baby body that you need to survive, girl. So you need to wake up right now because you need to feed. And the only way you know how to get food is to go, wah! Hunger has a way of waking you up. Now let me prophesy to you for a moment, because I believe that Holy Spirit right now in this moment wants to wake some people up with hunger for Jesus. Let me prophesy to some churches. It's time to wake up out of apathy. It's time to wake up out of religion. Let me prophesy to some young people. It's time to wake up out of distraction, out of temptation, out of sin. Now in 2020, it's a time to wake up and get hungry for Jesus. We've wasted enough time. Now is your time to wake up. Hunger wakes you up. Hunger drives you. The thirst, this woman drove her out of town to get to this well. Hunger has a way of driving you. Why? Because hunger that stays still gets nothing. You can feel hungry all you want, but if you don't move, if you don't respond, if you don't leave your position, then you're going to stay hungry. And I want to tell you tonight that we can be hungry for Jesus all we want, but we've got to be people who respond to Him. We've got to be people who are willing to get uncomfortable, to be used by Him. We've got to be people that press through. Hunger drives you. The thing I love is that hunger is contagious. Isn't it funny? All I had to do was show you some pictures of your favorite food, and all of a sudden your tummy began to rumble. Isn't it funny how if you've ever eaten something really delicious, what's one of the first things you do? I don't know about you, but one of the first things I do is I tell everybody else about it. Oh my goodness, you should have tasted it. It was delicious. If you keep reading this story, look what this woman does. After her encounter with Jesus, she leaves that place and she goes back into the town and she tells the whole town, come and meet the man who told me everything I ever did. In other words, she's saying, come and meet the answer. Hunger that awoke on the inside of her, thirst for Jesus that awoke on the inside of her, began to now spread to the whole town. Why? Because when you encounter Jesus, it has this way of becoming contagious. When there's truly a hungry young person or a hungry older person, when there's one hungry person in a church, it begins to spread. Man, you might say, but not my whole church came to Planetshakers conference. They're not as passionate. They don't understand the way that I've encountered Jesus. Well, let me tell you, one hungry person in a crowd can make a difference. One hungry person in a school can make a difference. One hungry person in a university or a workplace or a family can make a difference. Because hunger is contagious. I want to stir some people here in this place today. I love encountering Him, but I don't want to leave it here. I don't want to just have these feelings of, wow, that felt amazing, but not tell anybody about the Jesus that I've encountered. Come on, I want to challenge every planet shaker in this room today. If we're going to be planet shakers, then we need to start making a difference in the world that God has called us to. See, I don't have the opportunity to reach your friends and your family. God put you there. This person doesn't have the opportunity to reach this person's world, and this person may not have the opportunity to reach this person's world. That's why God called you there. We've got to walk out of this place tonight and allow our hunger for Jesus to become contagious to the people around us. We've got to begin to post about Him more than we post about ourselves. We've got to begin to talk about Him more than we talk about ourselves. Come on, if we're really hungry for Him, let's let it become contagious. I've noticed this. I don't exactly know how it works, but I'm pretty sure there's a thing called the Holy Spirit hunger switch. Something happens on the inside of us. We realize that we're hungry. And it stirs us into action to pursue what we're hungry for. I believe the Holy Spirit, one of his roles is that he stirs something on the inside of us to get our attention onto Jesus. He flicks that hunger switch. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched somebody else have an encounter with Jesus? I mean, sometimes it can be a bit weird, like they're in worship and you're kind of doing this. I've seen some of them. Have you ever watched somebody else have an encounter with Jesus and been a bit jealous? We don't want to be honest about this, do we? I have. You see somebody else encounter Jesus and you think, I want that. Now give me a wave if that's you. Yeah, see. What about this? Have you ever heard somebody else share a testimony and you thought to yourself, I want that. Now give me a wave. Have you ever read something in the Bible and thought to yourself, oh Lord, I want to experience your power like that? Anybody ever had that? Have you ever heard a worship song and it stirred something inside of you and you thought, oh Lord, I want to know you like it says in that song? Have you ever had that? What was happening? It wasn't just the words. It was the Holy Spirit moving on those words to flick a switch on the inside of you to stir your heart for hunger. Mitch, would you come and play the keys? Because I just want to finish by telling you my story. For no other reason other than perhaps as I do, the Holy Spirit might flick on that hunger switch in some of you today. See, when I was 13 years old, I'd grown up going to church. I knew lots of things about God. I would have called myself a Christian. But when I was 13, I was at a youth camp. And at that youth camp, in the middle of worship, I found myself kind of just looking at people around me worship. And I got to be honest, I felt a bit jealous because I thought to myself, they know something that I don't know. They're encountering someone who I don't know personally. It wasn't even the words of a preacher, it was in worship that I stood there and realized, Lord, I know all about you. It's like a switch was flipped on the inside of me. And all of a sudden I began to realize I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I wonder if the conversation between Jesus and the woman at the well, something was happening while they were talking. Jesus knew while he was talking about the water and the well, he knew what was happening beneath the surface, behind the scenes. He knew that the Holy Spirit was moving on this woman's heart. I think in the middle of the conversation, she all of a sudden realized it's not natural water that I'm thirsty for. It's not a natural solution that I'm thirsty for. I think there was a moment when she went, oh, Jesus, it's you that I've been longing for. It's you that I've been needing. And just like that woman, as a 13-year-old kid standing in worship, I went, Lord, I don't want to live for myself. This needs to be more than religion. I know that I need you to forgive my sins and give me a new start. I want to live for you. Jesus, it's you that I've been needing. I got this sense in my heart in that worship time. I think this is why I'm alive, is to know you. I think this is why I've been put on the planet, Lord, is just to pursue you and hunger after you and thirst for you. I think that is why you made me. Not to worry about the opinions of others, not to try and make other people laugh, not to just have fun, not to try and make money or seek popularity or fame. I think why I'm really alive, Lord, is to love you and to know you and to make you known. I gave my heart to Jesus that night. I surrendered my life to him, but you know what I specifically remember coming home from that camp? I remember saying to God, as a 13-year-old, Lord, if this is what you're like, I don't want anything else. You are all I want. You're all I want to see. You're all I want to chase after. You're all that I want my days to be about. You're all I want to think about. You're all I want to pursue. You're all I want to spend my gifts on. You're all I want to spend my life on. I don't want to live for anybody else. I don't want to live for myself. All I want is you. I want to worship you. I want to seek you. I want to live for you. And Lord, when I pass on from this earth to eternity, I want to spend all of eternity just worshiping you. All I want is you. I'm believing in this place right now. The Holy Spirit is moving. What's he doing in this moment? I think there are some switches being flipped.